My name is Georgi, and today I will be the least interesting person of the day because we have great guests from several programs, and we will talk today about environmental and nutritional sciences in Germany. This is our topic for today's presentation, and the good thing is that we have two programs that will be presenting, and we have both levels, so both a bachelor level and master level. So it's more for the broader audience, and some technical details, dear attendees. So you can already start sending in your questions. You can see the Q&A button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface. Those who are attending our webinars already know it, but for the newcomers, so you can already start sending in your questions there. And also, please don't forget to mention as long as it's possible to whom this question is addressed, to which of the programs. It will be better for smooth communication with you. You can also, I would like to suggest you to keep an eye on the chat. Despite the fact that you cannot use the chat, we will be sharing some interesting links, maybe some contact information that might be, and I'm sure will be interesting and useful for you. So let me now jump into my part of the presentation. Then I will introduce the agenda and invite our guests to the floor. As I already said, and you already know, the overall topic, umbrella topic of today's webinar is studying environmental nutritional sciences in Germany. And here is our agenda. So we have guests from two universities, from University of Koblenz-Landau and University of Bremen. You can see that we have lots of guests, and I will introduce to them one by one when we reach their presentation time. But as I said, we have two levels presented here, so both bachelor and master levels. And about the authors behind today's webinar. So MyGermanUniversity, what I would like you to know about us, that we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. We have already reached over 2,400 programs. So I will update this information for the next one because I've just checked that it's over already, which makes me happy. And you can see the small excerpt of our study finder on the left-hand side. And you can see that programs are not only bachelor and master levels, but also we have shortly added some short courses and language courses which you can also find on our website. So our main goal is to help international students like you on their way towards studying in Germany. And this study finder that you can see, excerpt of the study finder, is one of the ways of doing so. So when you go to our website of mygermanuniversity.com and go to the study finder on the left-hand side, on the top left corner, you can see it. You will be able to see that we have quite a large database and a very nice tool with lots of filters that you can use in order to find the best fitting program for you. So you can control for many things, even for your IELTS grade. So you will be able to find programs according to your IELTS grade, which is really great. And yeah, I would totally suggest you to use this study finder so that it will make your search much easier and smoother. Then another way of helping you is through writing up articles. We have right now over 70 comprehensive articles on various topics, ranging from rankings to uni-assist. We also talk about scholarships, about visa in Germany, etc., etc. So all the important topics, not only for international students, but also might be for local students as well. And the third way of helping you is through doing our webinars. So for now, approximately, we have conduct 150 webinars per year. But it's a bit more, I would say, because we have also new ways of communicating with you through some regular meetings as well. And we cover various topics. So we have webinars on visa, on scholarships, on application strategies. Also, we have subject webinars like the one that we have today. And the topics also are different. For today, we are talking about environmental sciences, for example, nutritional sciences, but also we have webinars on physics, on political science, etc., etc. So you can find all the already planned webinars on our website in the section of webinars, and you can sign up for them, of course, for free. I would suggest you to also register on our platform, which is also totally for free, and then you'll be able to unlock some of the features and easily find the programs and webinars that you are interested in. And about our team, so we are based in Hamburg in Germany, but not only there, we are around Germany also. For example, I am based I'm now in Bremen, and we also have people who are outside Germany, people in China who are in China, who are based in Spain, etc., etc. And we are counseling in different languages, ranging from English even to Georgian. So that was about MyGermanUniversity. And let me also quickly go through some interesting details that might be important for you, some general information when it comes to studying in Germany. So I would like you to know about two databases. If you are more into the German taught study programs, then I would say that Hochschulkompass might be helpful for you, because there you'll be able to find several programs in environmental and nutritional sciences, but only 51 of them would be in English. However, if you are more into English taught study programs, then MyGermanUniversity and our study finder would be a stop, because here you will be able to find 164 programs related to environmental and nutritional sciences, and there will be 13 of them in bachelor level and 151 of them on master level. And you can see that most of them, absolute majority, would be on English level or English language only, which means that you don't need any knowledge of other language, which is great. So also, for those who are not yet familiar with what they would expect when it comes to studying environmental or nutritional sciences in Germany, and you would like to know, for example, the general rankings of the universities that offer these programs, or general range of tuition fees or requirements for the programs, you can visit our subject pages as well, which are useful for those, just to create an idea of what you would expect when you would like to do this subject in Germany. And our pro tip is, of course, that everyone wants to find the best university profile and study program. However, sometimes students are heavily relying on things like rankings or names. For example, I want to go to Berlin and Munich only because these are larger cities, so they might have the best programs, or I want to follow only the rankings. However, this is not really the best approach, or even the good approach from my perspective, because in Germany, there are lots of great cities and towns with very nice universities where you can get lots of really high-level education. And maybe you will not find them in the rankings because they just don't participate in the rankings. Or also take into account that the rankings, international rankings, the well-known rankings, do not take into account many of the details that might be important for you. If you go to methodology, you will see that it is like that. So don't rely heavily on these kind of things, but go deeper into the programs, curriculums, and see what they are offering you. And be more broad in your search, because in Germany, as I said, there are lots of great opportunities outside of these named cities. So there are two university types that I also would like you to know about. So the first type of university is Universität, and we have this type of universities presented today. And if you go to MyGermanUniversity Study Finder, you'll be able to see, to control even for the programs in this field, which are offered by this type of university only, and you will be able to find over 150 programs in this subject. And the second type of university, University of Applied Sciences, and you can see the German name for this part. In English, it's easier, University of Applied Sciences, but in German, you can see it's not that easy to read, so you can train yourself. So there are 5 programs in this subject that are offered by this type of universities. So following this, the relevant question might come up, okay, Georgi, there are these 2 types of universities, but I've never heard about them. So is there any difference that I need to take into account? I would say that difference is not that huge. Just I want you to focus on one thing from today, but if you have more questions about differences, please let me know via email. So the main difference I would say is in focus for today, because when it comes to Universität type of university, it's more about research and theory. And in University of Applied Sciences, it's more about application and practice. This is the takeaway that I would like you to have from today. And last but not least, and I'm finalizing my part here, so regarding also the searching of the programs, because it's really critical to find the best fitting program for you. So if you are interested in environmental or nutritional sciences, don't be strict in terms of wording, because this, for example, can be umbrella terms. And you can find some more specific programs that might be also more fitting to your interests and background. So that's why play a bit with the words while you are searching, so to make sure that you are not missing out on the ideal program for you. All right, let me now go to our first guest from University of Koblenz-Landau. You can see where we are territorially, I would say central west of Germany, more or less. And we have Jakob Wolfram, who will be talking about master's program in environmental pollution management, exotoxicology. And let me stop sharing my screen right now and invite Mr. Wolfram to the floor.
Thank you very much, Giorgio. Welcome to everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Once again, thank you very much for having me here today. My name is Jakob Wolfram. I'm the study advisor for the master's program of environmental pollution management, or in short, ecotoxicology, here at the University of Landau. And I want to give you a brief rundown on our master's program so that you get a general idea of what ecotoxicology is and why you could study it here in Landau. One moment. So the program generally has application deadlines of the June 15th for non-EU citizens and July 15th for EU citizens. And our application runs through UniAssist, which is also supported by MyGermanUniversity, as far as I'm informed. And that means we start always in the winter semester, so that's around mid-October, but students are normally here at the campus to get going in the beginning of October, and we do not charge any tuition, so that's tuition free. Our teaching is always in presence and face-to-face. We normally want to achieve a maximum of 25 pupils each year so that we have on eye level contact with all of you, and I can wholeheartedly say that I know the first and last name of all students from the last 3 years at least, and know their strengths and weaknesses as well, and that's something that we want to keep on in the future as well. The location is, of course, Landau, and we require a minimum of a 3 out of 4 CGPA scale, or that is a minimum of a 2.5 on a German 1 to 6 scale. And briefly about Landau. Landau is, as Giorgio already introduced, thank you very much, in the southwest corner of Germany. We find ourselves in the River Rhine Valley. That means we have a rather warm climate. Sometimes people call it the Tuscany of Germany. Lots of viniculture here, and we have the largest continuous block forest at our doorstep, which is the Palatinate Forest. So if you're into hiking, biking, climbing, sightseeing, and so on during your free time, during your studies, then that's something that we can offer here. About the university, we currently have 8,000 students at the Landau campus. That means 70% of those identify as female. And we currently have 5 major B.Sc and M.Sc programs that are found within the domain of environmental sciences in general. So that means if you decide to study ecotoxicology here in Landau, you're also in direct discourse with other students that are situated within the domain of environmental sciences. And that's why we have 13 departments in our faculty of environmental sciences. So these are expert groups for the various subdomains and specialization areas within the environmental sciences, such as ecosystem analysis, environmental chemistry, pedology, and so on. Also, something I want to point out, we are happy to have our Welcome Center. It helps international students with everything to, kind of get started, beginning with the application, with the visa application, any onboarding activity to get you, starting on the ground, finding a place to live for you, and taking care or organizing insurances for you, which is very important here in Germany. But also organizing buddy programs so that you have somebody on your side who's more experienced and kind of guides you through your transition phase, the first 2 semesters here in Germany, so that you have somebody to talk to as well. Of course, German language courses and exchange programs, for instance, with the University of Sorbonne, and lots more. Not too long ago, we did a hike, or they did a hike to the Trifels Castle, which was really cool, as I was told. So that's also something that you can look forward. However, we are here for ecotoxicology, and so that's the intro to our small university. And most of you probably ask themselves what ecotoxicology is, because it's a very special subdomain of the environmental sciences. And to kind of break it down very broadly, there's always the first step, which is about identifying and quantifying the effects that chemical stressors can have on living environments. And then the second step is normally to develop solutions or management strategies in order to reduce those adverse ecological effects. So always a 2-step approach. quantifying effects, and then hopefully solving those issues. That is still very, very broad. And if you like, I can afterwards supply you with 1 or 2 YouTube videos. The one where I go into more detail what ecotoxicology is in general, and the other one about the currently ongoing projects in the ecotoxicology department here, so that you get a more hands-on idea on what the research is all about. And you may also ask yourself, why ecotoxicology? Why should you even study it? And Bernard et al. Did in their Nature publication in 2017 kind of very clearly show that we are currently living in an age, or continue to live in an age, of an increased chemization of the environments. And that means not only in the past, not only currently, but also in the future, we will be increasingly using chemicals, trading them, applying them, circulating them, synthesizing them, and or many of them end up in the environment. And so we need to be able to assess their environmental consequences. And so we desperately need more well-trained ecotoxicologists now and in the future. And in Landau, we approach this well, in a multifaceted way, as ecotoxicology is. It may start out, for instance, here with very highly reproducible, simplified, small-scale experiments, up to semi-natural experiments here, field trials and field observations, where in this case it was a toad tracking through viniculture systems, up to larger scale, mesoscale experiments where we actually map river ecosystems and assess the occurrence of chemicals in both the aquatic and the terrestrial phase, up to landscape level experiments such as this one up here with partners at Eurofins, where, well, really large scale experiments about, for instance, plant diversity under the effect of chemical stresses. But it's not only about field experiments. If you like, you can specialize in laboratory practices, honing and improving analytical techniques, for instance, or if you are more of a data guy or girl, then you can also go down the road of a computational ecotoxicology like myself, so that you spend most of your time digging through large databases, large data sets in order to answer environmental or ecotoxicological questions. For instance, up here, we did a comprehensive analysis of the current states of European surface water, so temporally and spatially very large scale. That's also something that you can do in ecotoxicology. However, it's also about studying. So if you want to do an exchange program, that's something that we can offer with some universities, such as here, I think it was the University of Sorbonne, but there's also a summer academy where international experts all over the world come to Landau in order to improve or refresh their ecotoxicological knowledge. Ecotoxicology is also about regulating and understanding chemicals. Most parts, it means you as well have to learn more about chemicals as well, and especially in their regulations, as you can see here, so that you are then properly prepared to also enter into the political discourse in order to, well, affect change. And yeah, that's ecotoxicology, how we approach it here. And about the master in general, it's of course an international master, so it's taught in English. We integrate you into our ongoing research now from the first semester on, starting with rather smaller projects, but we want you to be involved in our research right from the get-go. You can, in some parts, personalize your studies with 2 optional modules. So there you have the possibility to improve your knowledge in certain areas or obtain it from the ground up in others. There's an internship as well, which is very important for you in order to be in contact with future employers, to get an idea of your future working environment, be able to network with people, and that's something that resounded very positively with all our students. Finally, if you're done studying here, then you already meet all the requirements to become a so-called CTEC CRA. That means a Certified Risk Assessor after CTEC. CTEC is the largest society for environmental toxicologists and chemists in the world. And so that would be the entry-level certificate that you already obtain if you study here. And about the study structure, I don't want to go into much detail looking at the clock. And the first semester, as you may be seeing here, is about getting you up to speed. Building a good foundation, that means learning more about environmental analysis, the general principles of ecotoxicology, of course. We will teach you how to analyze complex data or environmental data, and then more about the effects of chemical stressors in particular. And then in the second semester, it's more about the methods to be applied, more lab work as well, some molecular ecology, some computational ecotoxicology in the models of ecotoxicology module. And then in the end, everything is combined again into the risk assessment and management module that you may be seeing here, which kind of needs all the previous modules in order to comprehensively understand and assess risk of chemicals. Something I want to point out as well is the so-called research project course in the third semester. It's probably the first time that you will be running a project on your own. That's what this is. So you, of course, receive supervision, but you can, for the first time, design, conduct, organize a research project over the duration of 10 weeks and then write a final report. It's kind of a dry run, I would say, for a master's thesis. So to improve your writing skills, your study conduction skills, and so on, so that you are properly prepared for a master's thesis. Then regarding employment, because ecotoxicology is kind of diverse and it depends on how you in the end specialize within that domain, we currently have the luxury that we have many partners in industry, in federal or local agencies, because some of them, well, studied ecotoxicology here and they ended up at those places. So there's a lot of room in the chemical industry. At the federal agency level, you can, of course, stay in research as I did, which I enjoy very, very much. And a couple of words to that on the next slide as well. Then there is also consultancies. So many chemicals need to be regulated, and there is such a large amount that they are currently practically mostly unregulated, I would argue. And so they desperately need trained ecotoxicologists as well. Many of those people that work at consultancies currently came from Aachen or from us, from Landau. And there's, of course, always NGOs. There are some testimonials here of some former colleagues of mine, especially Dr. Verena Schreiner here on the upper right-hand side. She started ecotoxicology in Landau as well, then did her PhD in Canada again, and is now a risk assessor for the Canadian Ministry of Nuclear Safety. She did very well for herself, and always like talking to her. And so if you bring the right mindset and you are ambitious and motivated, then this is a path that you can go down as well, if you like. And then, last but not least, if you want to spend your time in academia and want to do further research, then despite our small size that we also like to keep that way, if we're being honest, we don't want to grow particularly, we are still able to publish in a high-ranking journal regularly. If you're already familiar with some publications or some journals specifically, then some of those names should ring a bell for you. PNAS, for instance, Nature Scientific Reports, Environment International, ESNT, and in the center, of course, just recently we published in Science. But that means at this stage, we are no longer advertising for you. Rather, the paradigm shifts and we will require you to advertise yourselves. Because at that stage, when you want to get involved in our research, it is up to you to demonstrate that you have what it takes. It's not to discourage anyone, it's rather so that you are motivated, that you are really in for it. And then I think we can provide you with great research perspectives. Again, at that point, it's up to you to advertise yourself. And finally, some infos if you want to learn more about this program. And maybe if I talked a little bit too fast, and I'm very sorry. There's our homepage, of course, master-ecotoxicology.de. Here you'll find all the information and probably more. So if there's anything unclear, you are always welcome to visit us there. There's our blog, where I'm currently editor-in-chief, so maybe you want to contribute, just let me know. But the important thing about the blog is they're normally 2 to 4 minute reads, which means If you want to learn more about ongoing projects, recent publications, social events, anything that relates to ecotoxicology here in Landau, then all you have to go is go through the blog and read some of the recent posts, and you get a good idea what's going on currently. There's a very small YouTube channel called Master Ecotoxicology from us. The important thing for you is that you find some videos about those individual modules in your curriculum. And so if you want to get a very brief understanding of, you know, the lectures and maybe a little bit about the content that is being taught, then you can go to this YouTube channel and look it up if you like. Last and least, you can always ask me, of course. I do this for a couple of years now, and I really like it. So if there are any questions, not even during that Q&A, but afterwards, you can always shoot me an email. I'm always happy to answer those questions. And yeah, just contact me. And finally, there's a LinkedIn alumni, but that's nothing that you can join currently, of course, as the name says, but any current and former student is in there. So if you decide to study in there, then it's, of course, a great network that you can get involved in order to you know, see where people are currently working at and get an idea of, you know, some potential for future employment, as well as to see regular job postings in there as well. That's it from my side. I think I made it in time. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm very happy to also listen to the presentation from the University of Bremen now. And yes, thank you very much. And I give back to Giorgio.
Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. And yeah, we have received lots of questions, by the way, which is really good. Just a small comment so that we don't have any confusion, because in the beginning it was mentioned that we have a supporting 𝘈𝘕assist or something like that. There was a comment, but just to make it clear, we don't support and we are not supported in any ways by 𝘈𝘕assist. We just make webinars by them so that our students know. You can sign up for the webinars. We explain what it is about, because sometimes it causes confusion. And we also have articles about 𝘈𝘕assist so that you can find out what it is about. So, and I will just quickly put a link in the chat. So for those who are interested in what 𝘈𝘕assist is about, you can check that out either on during our webinar or through using our articles. So yeah, other than that, thank you very much. It was interesting, and I collected some very important questions, and I will address them to you by the end of our presentation. And now let's move to the north of Germany, to the University of Bremen. You can see on the map that it is quite north, but we have nice weather right now today, more or less. And we have several guests, as I said, from University of Bremen, who will talk about marine geosciences, which is a bachelor level program. We have Dr. Ulrike Wolf-Brozio and also Dr. Barbara Ventura. So let me now stop sharing the screen and invite our guests to the floor.
Hello, everybody, and greetings from Bremen to all. So yes, thank you, Giorgio, for your short introduction. So with me is my colleague, Barbara Ventura, and now I'm starting my presentation on the Bachelors of Marine Geoscience, a new program. We have started this program last winter, and now we are coming to the second year of this bachelor's program. And yes, so if you are interested in taking part, I would like to introduce you a little bit about this. Studying geoscience or marine geoscience means you're studying the Earth and its oceans. And yes, you are concerned with the natural hazards we have on this Earth. And also you will learn about the evolution of Earth and life and climate on Earth. And yes, we are an interdisciplinary program. From its origin, the integrated geoscience is a program which is consisted of four disciplines. It's geology and mineralogy and paleontology and geophysics, which comes together in geoscience. So what is into the program? What can you expect? What would you have to face there? So the studies, you're studying system Earth and oceans, and you will have physical, chemical, and geological processes to learn on the Earth's surface and its interior using scientific methods. So our structure is modular. I think you know, or you all know, it's a 180 credit points a study program, which is normal for bachelor programs in Germany. After you have finished, you will have a title. The title is then Bachelor of Science in Marine Geoscience. The duration of the study program is 3 years. The language of instruction is English. The application deadline is until July 15 for all students coming from all over the world. Non-EU citizens need the VPD by UniAssist. I think this is the matter in your webinars about UniAssist here in MyGermanUniversities. For the language tests you have time until September 15. Then we offer an orientation week from October 10th on, and the lectures start then in October 17 this year. So how looks like the study plan? So this is a short overview. You can see here is the first row means first semester, second is the second semester, and so on. Then you have the second year here and the third year. We all start in the winter semester, and then comes the summer semester. Yes, and you can see here by the colors that in the first year you have to do the chemistry, physics, and mathematics, and yeah, you are starting with the basics of geology, and then in the third semester or second year winter semester, you will start with basics in oceanography, marine sediments, ocean crust dynamics, applied geophysics in the marine realm, and also a sediment core project, which is a special project possible in Bremen University, because we are hosting the 𝘱𝘢𝘵𝘗 core repository, which is which hosts the deep sea sediment cores from the Atlantic. And one of these sediment cores is then offered in this sediment core project to the students, and you will analyze it there with all state-of-the-art methods you have. And at the end, all reports will be put together in a big session, so a colloquium where you can present your records. And then comes the second half of the study program. Here in blue, you can see our specialization area. You have the possibility to take 3 minors, which you can study over 3 semesters. And then we have the professionalization area here with geoscientific field competences, professional competences, which means this is an internship over 4 weeks. Then the digital competences and interdisciplinary skills, where you can put in whatever you want from our university offer for your skills, soft skills, by example. Then the bachelor thesis will be the rest. Yeah, the first year is chemistry, physics, mathematics, and then the marine geoscientific basics like introduction to earth dynamics from mountains to minerals and evolution of earth and life, structural geology and tectonics. And there is included 2 field trips, the introduction to the geological fieldwork and structural geology field trip. From the second year on, you have then the marine geoscientific basics and the specializations, interdisciplinary skills, and the bachelor thesis. Specialization area, I just told you. Here are our minors we can offer: the exploration geophysics, the geochemistry, geodynamics, geoinformatics, paleoceanography, sedimentology, and paleontology. If this means nothing to you, you will learn about this after starting. You have 3 semesters to learn about this. Yeah. What are the requirements to enter into this program? you need the university entrance qualification. You should bring a little bit of enthusiasm for the years at our feet, and you have interest in science. It is fine if you have solid fundamentals in physics, maths, and chemistry, but it's not a requirement. Yeah, then good spatial imagination is what helps you to get through, but we will train you here also. So weather resistance, we often talked about this, but it's really important to be able to work hard in the field. And yes, you should work individually and also in a team. You should have very good knowledge in English. The B2 level should be certified, and then the German language knowledge of A1. So looking into future, if you are now here in the university entrance qualification and you want to join our program, Bachelors, then you can move further on with a master's program in marine geoscience here at the University of Bremen, or wherever you can find something similar. Or you go out to the professional part and do your professional career, or you will do a PhD later on to enter into research. What are the professional fields for marine geoscientists? This might not be so clear. So for analysis and remediation of contaminated sites, you can work, or for data analyzing, modeling services, energy, water, and soil management, investigations for environmental and climate protection, the marine geotechnics part, the marine research, of course, the marine resources industry, or for natural hazards forecast and protection, and various tasks in administration, media, and PR. So about us, the geoscience department here at the University of Bremen was founded in 1986. We have 18 professorships and 150 research assistants and 45 non-research staff members. We are offering 2 bachelor programs and 3 master programs. We have a PhD training here and some graduate qualification training, 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘆, and international graduate colleagues around. Yes, our research for key and our structures. So the 18 working groups are separated into climate and ocean dynamics groups, and coastal and sedimentary systems, as well as solid earth and geomaterials, as well as marine geology, geochemistry, and geobiology. So what makes us attractive to prospective students? We offer cutting-edge research in marine science, climate change. We have a high rate of interdisciplinarity. We are very international. 40% of our students at our department are international students. Practical relevance is good. The excellence in research opens up a wide range of opportunities for students, even the participation in exciting expeditions. And we have numerous cooperation professorships with, by example, the 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝑚 Institute for Polar and Marine Research here in Bremerhaven. So thus also offers polar research and glaciology in the study programs. And we have a geoscientific collection with diverse outreach activities here. So we think that that geoscience are the right thing for solving societal challenges. By example, climate neutral energy production, the building site exploration for wind farms, new raw materials development, the efficient use of hydrocarbons, the use of geological formations for storage of CO2, hydrogen, and ammonium. Recognize and help to avoid natural risks through volcanism, earthquakes, landslides, mudslides. Recognize and minimize consequences of human interventions in geosphere, climate, and ocean dynamics, understanding the climate change, generating knowledge to act, coastal protections, natural science basics for sustainable use of resources, very important at the moment, and the material science, corrosion and protection and recycling of raw material. What are our unique selling points here with the Geoscience in Bremen? So the University of Bremen hosts the research faculty MARUM, Center for Marine Environmental Research, which we are strongly connected. They have the research field Ocean and Climate with the excellence cluster Ocean Floor. We have the International Core Repository with ocean sediments. These International Core Repository, and there are 3 in the world, and 1 is here in Bremen. The 𝘗𝘪𝘵 graduation qualification for ocean and climate topics, and the International Graduate Colleague ArcTrain and SLATE is also hosting here. So excellence in research is also visible via the Shanghai rankings for academic subjects. By example, oceanography in 2020, we took the place 8. At the moment, we are on place 7, so we are climbing a little bit. In Earth Science, we are on place 29 in 2020. I think, I don't know really, I think we are a little bit up for the year 2020, 2021, yes. Yeah, this is our homepage, faculty homepage, where you find all informations regarding the study program, the courses, the teachers, the research, all what you need to know. So geo.uni-bremen.de is what you need to look at. Yeah, and this is all what I need to say. So if you need to have an appointment with us, it is possible. Also, we can arrange Zoom meetings. So me and my colleague Barbara Ventura with you to get a little bit more in detail and individual tasks to be discussed with you. You can contact us. Okay, yes, and this is all from my side. And now we are open to questions.
Yes, so thank you very much. Another wonderful presentation and another wave of questions. So in total, we have quite a lot, but we have still enough time to address them. And I'm happy that there is such an interest in this subject. So let me already jump into that and ask the first question. So let me ask the first question directed to Koblenz-Landau. So the question is, if I have a background in computer science and engineering, and also my friend has a background in social sciences. So they are interested both in this program, and will be a problem with these backgrounds to submit an application.
I'm being honest, probably yes. I'm always happy for all applicants, but the issue with ecotoxicology is that you need a solid background in chemistry, biology, ecology, and mathematics and statistics. So it's a rather broad field, and so mostly it's environmental scientists, geoscientists that meet those criteria. I mean, sometimes you can convince us with professional experience and so on, but if there is a complete lack of biological, ecological, and chemical sciences, then I'm sorry to say, but the chances of admission are unfortunately very low.
Okay, fair enough. Good to know this. Thank you very much. Then a question for Uni Bremen. So this question was actually, you answered this question toward the end of your presentation. The question was, what kind of level of German do I need? And you already mentioned in the presentation it's A1 that is required. So, and a follow-up would be, is it possible to submit this A1 certificate a bit later after, and send already to apply without the certificate, but for example, to provide it a bit later, or it's the strict deadline?
So for the language certificates, you have time until the 15th of September. So this is 2 months after the application deadline.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Good to know. Now, a general question to both of you, to both programs. So the person asks that I am in the final year of my studies. So is it possible to still apply without having a diploma right now? So I suppose that this person is in the last semester and maybe writing a thesis already, or maybe. So I think, yeah, this question is more directed. It was a general stated that it's general question, but I think it's more directed to the exotoxicology, because we're talking about master program here. So yeah, if the person doesn't have a diploma, bachelor diploma right now, is it still possible to apply and provide the diplomas later?
Yes. Generally, if it's very high probability or certain that the diploma or bachelor thesis is concluded within the time prior to the admission or immatriculation in this case, so maybe up until September, then yes, it's possible. Then we can do a preliminary admission. However, importantly, the original documents need to be brought to Germany in their physical form to our international office so that we can verify them, and so that we can admit the student officially then. But in short, yes, one can apply with a preliminary or incomplete grade sheet as long as the graduation is imminent.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Now to Uni Bremen, question to Uni Bremen. So the student asks that if I am coming from the USA, do I still need to submit any proof of my English knowledge, or I'm exempt?
No, all coming from a country where English is the language of instruction in school, and having done the degree in school, then you don't need to bring an English language knowledge certificate.
Okay. Great. Good exemption. Thank you very much. Another question now, this is really for both of the programs. So I think it's a really nice question. So which criteria are the most important when during the selection process? So which of them have the highest weight when you do your selection? Let's start with Uni Bremen.
For the bachelor's program only, the higher education entrance qualification is the main point. There is no final grade or something which will be considered. Only the entrance qualification must be there, and the language certificates. This is all.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. And Mr. Wolfram?
Yes, so for Landau, it's the grade, so at least a good, or so a 3 out of 4 on a CGPA scale. That's important. There is some leeway if you have professional experience and do not make that mark cutoff, then it's not fixed, then we can admit you as well. However, the background in chemical sciences, biological science, and math, statistics, that is important. So you have to at least meet 2 of those criteria, 2 out of those 3 criteria, preferably all 3. Yeah, so it's a little bit more complex, I would say. Meet the grade requirement and math, biology, and chemistry, if I would have to summarize it. Okay,
great. Thank you. So let me do a follow-up, because you mentioned the grades. So because there's some questions regarding the grades for both of you. For Koblenz-Landau, you mentioned on the presentation it was a 2.5 GPA.
No, 2.5 on German scale.
German scale, yes. 2.5 German scale GPA. So the person has a bit lower, but is it still possible to apply, or you are strict in this regard? And for the Uni Bremen also, yeah, is it important to this school grades are important, or it's more flexible? Yes, let's start with Landau.
I mean, we are also, to some regards, flexible, and it depends also on where you've studied. Not every grade, especially international, is easily comparable, to put it this way. And if you do not make the grade cutoff, professional experience, extracurricular activities, general interest. Sometimes we do an interview with you to get to know you better. All of that can weigh onto our decision and make it possible that you can still be admitted, yes.
Okay, thank you. And with Uni Bremen?
Yes, we have no limitation in places, and therefore for the bachelors there is no limitation. So the grade is not important.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Now, question for Landau only. So the person asks, so is there only one date of admission or entry per year, or you also have another dates available for that?
No. There is only the winter semester where we admit students. So the official lecture period starts on, I think, this year, October 16th or 17th, so mid of October normally. And people have to be on campus normally at the beginning of October to get everything set up, insurance and so on. So once per year.
Okay. Noted. I'm lost a bit in questions. I'm trying to find out where they are. I have a whole list. And now to Uni Bremen. The question was about availability of student dormitories, whether the university helps students to find dormitories, or do they have to do it?
Yes, the accommodation is the big question in Bremen. So I think Bremen is not. So can you hear me? I cannot see you. Yes, you can. Okay. So the internet connection is not so good, I think. But we have the student dormitories here, but not enough places for all. So it is good to be the first one who is asking for a place there. They have a waiting list, and normally during the winter semester, all students will get a place in the dormitory if they want to. But there's another market for shared flats. It's an open market in the town, and we have a lot of students here around. So normally everybody finds a place to live where it is okay for him. But it takes some effort to do it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for this comprehensive answer. Now, another interesting question, because both of you actually mentioned UniAssist. With Uni Bremen, just the one addition was VPD. So the question is, do I still have time to apply? So because the question exactly reads that, I know that it might take from 6 to 8 weeks for UniAssist to check everything. So do I still have time to apply for the winter semester? Let's start with Uni Bremen.
Yes, for the VPD, you should be fast. Fast means tomorrow. Apply tomorrow is the best way, because the deadline for application is 15th of July. After that, it is not more possible. And so you need the VPD, and you cannot present it later. So to get it back from UniAssist and take the long period means 6 weeks, then you should apply tomorrow.
Yeah, that's really best advice. And from Koblenz, I think it's the same.
Mostly, I mean, for international students, we have the June 15th as a application deadline. But normally that refers to the postal stamp when you send in your documents. So theoretically, you can apply on June 14th, which is something I would not recommend to you because it's way too late. The problem is not necessarily admission, but getting a visum currently. So that's something that you would have to check in your home countries, is the average waiting time to get a student visa. Maybe it's better now, but you can still apply. But I would say the same as in Bremen, apply yesterday.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And just a small comment from my side. For those programs who are requiring just UniAssist, according to UniAssist regulations, and you can also read on their website as well, that you can't, it's important them to reach by the deadline that the program sets, because UniAssist itself doesn't have deadline. So as long as you apply by the deadline, it's fine. But if you have VPD, you have to do it a bit quicker, because it's VPD, it's 50-50 more or less, because you have to get the VPD back to you. and then attach this VPD document together with a documentation package and send it back to UniAssist. So that's why it will take time. So I completely agree with both our guests. Apply yesterday or at least today. So this is the really good advice. This is a question that I can also provide answer more or less, but I will leave the floor to you about scholarships. Is there any possibility of getting scholarships as an outstanding student? Let's start with Koblenz.
I mean, there's always scholarships that students can apply independently, but currently we do not offer any in-house scholarships anymore. What we do sometimes with very promising students is to directly integrate them into research on a paid position term, but we do no longer offer in-house scholarships, no.
Okay, thank you. And for Uni Bremen?
Yeah, we also do not have any in-house scholarships, so only DAAD is possible. And I think after being enrolled, then it is possible to have some other funding here, but for the first steps, only the DAAD scholarships will work.
Yeah, fair enough. Just for information about external scholarships, which are usually the most popular in Germany, because I also received a DAAD full scholarship when I came to Germany as an international student. So you can find out information about the scholarships through our article also that we wrote for you. It is in the chat, and you can see that's DAAD and some other several scholarships that you might be eligible for. So go for it, they're really nice. Okay, then one question to Koblenz-Landau, but it's not really directly connected to the program. It's about whether it is possible to do a degree in agriculture in your university, or is it possible within your program to do a thesis or research in this field?
Yes, I mean, not a degree, we are not an agricultural university, but a big part of ecotoxicology revolves around the use of pesticides, for instance, and they are, of course, directly linked to agricultural practices, and so we also have good connections to the JKI, so the Julius Kühn Institute, for instance, and so that means if you're interested in the phenomenon of pesticide application and ecotoxicological effects, or maybe researching in fields where how you could potentially reduce that or move towards biopesticides and so on, there is a lot of work to be done, or general large-scale field trials in the context of agriculture, something that we regularly conduct. So that's also possible to see a good intersection there in those research areas, yes.
You. Question to both, whether there is the potential of doing the program part-time, or it has to be full-time program in both cases. Let's start with Uni Bremen in this case.
So our bachelor's program is a full-time study program. We cannot rearrange the schedule, the weekly schedule. So yes, it is necessary to be present there the whole week.
Thank you very much. And is Landau?
Yes, more or less the same. So, of course, you can take maybe an extra semester, but it is a full-time commitment in either case, and it cannot be, or it is not thought to be, a part-time study.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, a question from a refugee, because so I'm a non-EU citizen coming from the third world country who fled the war from Ukraine and now is a refugee here in Germany. I wish to continue my studies. Am I eligible, and do I need also to pass through UniAssist for application in this case? Yeah, nice question. Let's start with Landau.
Do you have a B.Sc? So do you have a bachelor's or something comparable in environmental sciences? Then please get in touch with me afterwards via email. May also be able, depending on your degree, to circulate around my colleagues, and I'm pretty sure that we can work something out. Maybe DBU scholarship is currently going on, DFG funding I'm aware of. Shoot me an email and we talk about it further.
And with Uni Bremen?
So we have a consulting office here, it's called here. And here is responsible for all refugees coming to us, wants to study. They help you getting informed what are your options, which programs can you enter, and all these things. So better to connect directly with here, and then you can see what options you have.
Okay. Yeah, that's really nice advice. If there's such a consultancy, I didn't know about it, but yeah, thank you very much. It's really important in this case. So another interesting question, which says that it's for Koblenz-Landau, but I think it's should be for both, because it's really interesting to know if the application is available till the 15th of July, but 15th of July, by the way, is for EU citizens. In this case, for non-EU, it's 15th of June. But in case of Uni Bremen, it is 15th of July, if I'm not mistaken. So when do the applicants normally know if they have been accepted? Yeah, this is really important.
I mean, it always depends on, oh, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
It always depends on how fast Geosciences is. Sometimes they are fast. Normally we plan with something like 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the student visa availability. Sometimes we can fast track it, sometimes, but it's nothing that I want to advertise actually. 6 weeks, I would say, after application, after the documents are completely received and in a correct state, then I would say 6 weeks normally.
Thank you. And in case of Uni Bremen?
Yes. So for the bachelor's programs at the University of Bremen, all applications go through Hochschulstart and 𝘗𝑪V, which is an overall application portal for all German bachelors for participating universities. Last year, they have been very fast, and beginning of August, everybody knows about his study offers. But yeah, maybe it is a little bit different. So I would say, so beginning to mid of August, you should know about if you are accepted or not.
Okay. Yeah.
If I may add one thing though, yes. We always offer students, if you send me your grade sheets, then I can normally give you a good preliminary assessment about your admission chances. So if you want to know, don't want to wait and get an assessment, then that's something that I can do rather quickly, so that you know if you even have to wait for our official answer. That's something I can do in order to give you some organizational security for the future.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And just one comment also from my side. If during 1 month you don't receive an answer, don't panic, it's fine. I mean, because usually I have this question, okay, I have not received an answer for 1 month, is it a problem, am I not accepted? I mean, I have waited for an answer at that time for 4 months, or yeah, something like that. So it's not a problem, you can wait for more. So don't panic, everything will be fine. If you are not accepted, then you will be informed, and hopefully you will be accepted and you will be informed about that, so no worries. Okay, we are coming to close the session, and let me address some final questions. So I'm 42 years old with B.Sc degree in professional certification of the Class 1 Certificate of Competency, unlimited license in marine engineering from the Regional Maritime University, Accra, Ghana. Also, I have 11 years of working experience in the offshore industry. Please, I would like to apply for the master's degree program in environmental management for 2022 academic session. Okay, so if you would like to know whether your qualifications fit, first of all, from my side, I would suggest you to take a look at the homepage and see what are the eligibility requirements. But if you have any more specific questions to the program, I also put the email that Mr. Wolfram provided. Also, he presented some of the details where you can contact the program representatives, and then it will be more or less clear for you whether you are eligible or not, because it's fine that you provided so much information, but still more is necessary, because there are some more eligibility criteria than that is needed, I suppose.
Yes, so, absolutely correct.
Okay, great. I would like to conduct my research in fashion-derived pollutants in Koblenz-Landau. Is it possible?
I mean, I think it's possible to the question. I mean, it's possible. It's a terrible answer on my side. I'm sorry. Sure. I mean, the question is, do you find a supervisor that has enough expertise in that area? And maybe yes, I can think of one person, but I would say sometimes your perspective changes during the studies on what you want to study. It's possible. I'm sorry, I cannot be. I don't know. It depends on the professor's availability, project funds, and so on. Hard to say for me currently.
Okay, great. And last question was about the possibility of financing yourself because the students has problem with finances. As we already addressed this question, there are the possibilities through which you can get the scholarship to finance yourself at least to a certain extent. So, and the article was shared in the chat. You can see it also. It was shared quite recently. You can see our article and read the possibilities that you have. The most popular usually. Yeah, it's now shared again. Thank you, Nino. So it was the DAD is usually one of the most popular for international students. Check our article. We have direct links to the various organizations that might provide you scholarship. We also have the link to the DAD funding database where they list all the programs, scholarship programs that they have. So, and then you will see whether you are eligible or not, because yeah, as our boss program said, right now, they do not provide any internal scholarships for the students. All right, that was quite a lot. I think this is the most amount of questions that I had to pose to the speakers. Sorry for that, but yeah, they were really interesting and I wanted us to address them. Thank you very much for being patient, for answering all the questions so comprehensively and clearly. And I would like to also thank students for being so active. That was really great. Thanks for joining until waiting for your questions to be answered until the end. It was great. I mean, if you have more questions for the program representatives, you can always get in touch with them. Nino once again shared the contact details that were provided already in the chat. You can get in touch with them. And if you have any general questions about studying in Germany, maybe about Uni-Assist or visa or scholarships, etc., we have expertise on that also. And you can send us your email on info@mygermanuniversity.com, and we'll be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you would like to give a feedback for our today's webinar, which will be also really great, you can give us your feedback on our Facebook page or on Google, and direct links also to the feedback are included in the chat. And yeah, if you have any concerns, we'll react accordingly for the future webinars. So thank you very much to everyone once again. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed the webinar and I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.